Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to today's webinar, ASPICE PAM 4.0, What You Need to Know. Your presenters today are Nikhil Unnikrishnan and Chad Keimel. Nikhil is an Omnex consultant with a broad range of experience involved in the design and development of hardware, software, and mechanical systems and components. He helps organizations improve processes by applying best practices and recognized standards like Automotive SPICE, ISO 26262, Functional Safety, ISO 9001, and IATF 16949 Quality Management Systems. Nikhil conducts reviews, assessments, and documentation for leading automotive organizations, including multiple software and hardware systems. He is a certified Green Belt in Lean Six Sigma and a certified quality process analyst. Chad is the CTO of Omnex, an international consulting and training organization headquartered in the United States. After graduating from General Motors Institute, Chad spent a number of years working at General Motors and KPMG. Over the course of Chad's successful career, he has served on the Malcolm Baldrige Board of Examiners and has received numerous quality achievement awards, including the Quality Professional of the Year Award by the American Society for Quality Automotive Division in 2005. In addition to his bachelor's degree from GMI, Chad holds both a master's degree in industrial and operations engineering from the University of Michigan and an MBA cum laude from the University of Michigan. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, I kindly ask that you type them in the chat box and we will address as many as we can at the end of the webinar. Now, without further ado, please welcome Nikhil and Chad.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Folks, I'm just going to take a lead here in introducing the webinar. Your main speaker today is Nikhil. Just for both of you to know, we are both principal assessors for ASPICE, and I am working my way to becoming a competent instructor also. All right. So Kelsey was nice enough to introduce the webinar and the speakers. You know, time to time, I know many of you attend a lot of our webinars, but we always have new people. So let me just say, who is Omnex? Just for you to know, we're a global organization headquartered in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We're about 700 in strength in different countries. The strongest offices, of course, are US, China, India, and Europe. We also do a lot of work in Eastern Europe, supporting our customers. All right, so here's some of the markets we serve. We think about ASPICE especially, we think of it as part of the e-mobility or electric autonomous vehicle market, but of course, you have to do ASPICE for all different types of embedded software. This is what we do. You know, PAM 4.0 is coming soon. We'll talk about that. You know, we're happy to do a diagnostic gap analysis, or we do certification for ASPICE, of course. We do implementation and coaching. We actually do functional safety and cybersecurity design, where we'll be the functional safety managers or cybersecurity managers. We do assessments, and we also do product certification. The product certification now has actually been moved to an independent third-party company that we work with called Omnex Future Past that also does greenhouse gases. I won't, we already had an intro. So, all right. So this is what we're going to do. We have, in a quick, about 25 minutes, we'll talk to you about ASPICE and PAM 4.0 changes. And then we will stay. If it takes a little longer to answer questions, we will stay and try to answer all your questions. So what is Automotive SPICE? It's a framework for designing and assessing system, software, and hardware development processes. There's a common misconception, by the way, that it's just software. And in fact, I was in a meeting today where somebody emphatically said, "Why are you talking about system requirements? I thought it's all software." Of course, all of you attending know, we again, time and time, have to correct that misconception. Though SPICE is a, process-oriented assessment, a PAM, process assessment model for software, it also has system, and of course, PAM 4.0 broadens it tremendously. Why are we implementing it? Just for the discipline it brings in for better processes and better products. And the number of bugs and your on time should improve tremendously implementing ASPICE. It doesn't matter now, really. It has become the de facto standard that we all have to use, not only for ourselves, for our supply chains and our globally distributed development and engineering centers. And as you all know, it is what the automotive OEMs themselves do and require us to do. How did ASPICE start? ASPICE started just by the HIS group. Now, don't ask me what HIS stands for. Maybe Nikhil will quickly look that up. In fact,
I think it used to be a German word, Hersteller Initiative Software. Yeah.
Great. And who's our friend in Sweden who led that? He still is the person who leads that.
Alec Darling. Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
Alec Darling.
Oh yes, Alec Darling. He is actually the one I did my first assessments with, because we have a great interest in Omnex, always to work with the writers of standards. And so the European OEMs, and I'll say mainly German OEMs, got together, and the ASPICE standard was created. Alec Dorling was what they call the convener. Alec actually told me that he had the rights to the word ASPICE, which he gave to VDA. So then right now the VDA, it's a VDA QMC working group. You can see it became a full-fledged working group in the 4.0, PAM 4.0 release. All right. And really, this is of great interest to all of us. If you know ASPICE already, and maybe many of you are here because you already know PAM 3.1. By the way, the 3.0 to 3.1 revision was the word HIS scope to VDA scope. Just that. That's why really nothing much changed between PAM 3.0 and 3.1. So we all know that the VDA scope were 16 processes, right? Well, not just one, these 4, these 6, 10, the QA sub 1, sub 8, sub 9, sub 10, 4 here, and then ACQ4, supplier monitoring here. And very importantly, the MAN 3. All right. How has this changed? Most of these processes have survived. What you'll see is as you all know, machine learning is coming on in a big way. And it is going to make folks serious changes. I have a software group that reports to me, and we have just started using LLMs, or large language modeling in AI. And so we are learning a lot of what we have to do in this training. So as soon as you start about training, you're talking about, not using LLMs. LLMs really don't need to be trained as much, but of course you need to do the testing, okay? And the whole idea of how you do test cases will change with that. So you can see also the idea of the data management in machine learning. With LLMs, am I right, Nikhil? Nikhil is hot and
Yeah.
heavy in a very important project for Omnex, actually for one of our large customers. And different, I think we'll have to come up with the processes for LLMs, okay? But I'll just tell you that developing software and developing AI software is really, really different. All right, what else do we know? This HWE, hardware processes. Nikhil, you used to teach this this class, if I'm not mistaken, because hardware was always there before. What was it was a
So I
standard.
think the main change there as it comes to is they've taken those processes and brought it to now the main ASPICE framework. In addition to that, that standard still continues to exist as it is, except that it has more guidance as it functional safety, if you're going to integrate the hardware processes, what kind of steps you should take. That is more explained in the hardware SPICE PAM. That is the only difference. But if you look at the base practices and everything, they've taken the whole thing and brought it from there to here.
Okay. The other part of it is there was no testing in the environment of the customer. So there comes Val 1 validation. So this is a new process that won't be done by those developing in the project. It'll be after you send the product, it'll have to be done by, I don't want to just say OEMs, because many electronic products and circuit boards and things like that happen at a supplier to a tier one. So it could also be a tier one. All right. So this is really the change that has taken place. And with that, let me hand it to Nikhil.
Take the screen over, Chad.
Okay, fine, Nikhil.
There you go. All right. Thank you for that, Chad. So I'll pick up from, again, some of the points that Chad left off. You can see here the main total number of processes, if you count them, there's still 32. They took out 10. Now you have 10 added on that you're seeing on the right hand side. So we had 16 processes that were part of the VDA scope in PAM 3.1. And then in a couple of slides, I'll show you how they are now sort of changing the definition of how you interpret that. Going on to the next slide. Some processes have also been renamed. One of the biggest change that you'll see is the word testing now being recognized as verification. The main reason being that testing is one method of verifying. There are other methods of verifying as well, like reviews and other simulations, etc. So the ASPICE community has sort of accepted that it's not only testing, and therefore you see the change in blue, where it used to be what you're seeing on the left-hand side, that's in PAM 3.1, and now what you're seeing on the right-hand side is what we have on PAM 4.0. Now, as you see on this slide, ASPICE has now a recommended VDA scope sort of definition. So the definition of VDA scope as it comes to now is there's a basic plus at least one plugin. So the basic processes are what you're seeing on yellow. So you have project management, quality assurance, configuration management, problem resolution, and change management, change request management. And then you have the plugin. So, in some cases that there are some tier ones who are only responsible for systems engineering, and they might delegate the software engineering development to a tier two. In that case, then you could have only systems engineering applied in your company. And similarly, you have also the hardware engineering and mechanical engineering plugins as well. So in the PAM 4.0, it's like you have to have the basic plus at least one plugin included into it. And then you also have the flexible processes, which are the the risk management, reuse program, process improvement, and all the other other processes that we have remaining. So those are also considered as flexible processes. So the point here is, of course, as you establish, formal ASPICE assessments, or when you're thinking about like implementing ASPICE in your organization, there's always the sponsor that sort of gets involved in defining what the scope is. So that has to be agreed with the sponsor. There's also the purpose of the assessment. Sometimes it's an internal management decision to have that happen. Sometimes there's a customer advocating for that assessment to take place. And then also you can have, tailored processes that you might be applying. That is also something to be considering. And then, of course, you can have PAM add-ons such as like, agile or data management and many other options also that you can add on to the assessment in addition to what you have here. So that sort of sets the scope of what you're implementing. And then, of course, there are these recommended processes which you can add on beyond what we have here on the slide.
Hey, Nikhil, I
Yeah,
just,
go ahead.
one of the points I had wanted to make earlier is, we are very, what is the word to use? Do a lot of work in functional safety and cybersecurity. In fact, I'm on the rewrite committee for functional safety for software. The point I wanted to make is that if you look at functional safety, it has system, hardware, and software, okay? And I have no doubt they'll also have to add machine learning. There's talk about it. It's not clear exactly what we'll be doing on that. But the point I wanted to make was that hardware, so the ASPICE we see as a base for doing functional safety. Plus, I don't know if you noticed, if you're doing ASPICE for system and software, suddenly, you might even have functional safety for hardware, but really no discipline process similar to the other ones for hardware or mechanical. So my question to you, and I'd like to see your comments in the Q&A, how many of you are looking at adding hardware and mechanical and maybe even AI? I'd just like to see if you could just comment on that. Thank you, Nikhil.
Thanks, Sean. So also, another highlight that you can see in the PAM 4.0 is, of course, there's many best practices in many of the processes that have been modified. In some cases, you can also see them being consolidated. Like in PAM 3.1, we had different best practices for bidirectional traceability and consistency. Now you don't have that separated out. It's being combined together into one best practice in PAM 4.0. Some requirements have been also moved from level 1 to level 2G, capability. That is, as an example, strategy. The word that, strategy that has been used to be explicitly there even in level 1 requirements if you looked at PAM 3.1. Now in PAM 4.0, they've moved that to level 2. Now some organizations still, go forward with the practice to still have that implemented even at a level 1, just as a good way to do it. And then you have the SPICE guidelines. The guidelines is the document that sets additional rules on how ratings take place when assessments are underway, and also when you're implementing ASPICE in your organization, what additional considerations you should take, for specific processes. So all of those are captured in this blue gold book that you're seeing here on the right-hand side. So that has also been now revised to the second edition based on the PAM 4.0 upgrade. One key point there is all the recommendations now. There are only rules. In the previous version, you had rules and recommendations. Now you basically just only have rules, which is a big change that you can think about. One of the things that we've also done is we've created a handbook for automotive SPICE that literally fits in your pocket. So if you're somebody who's trying to understand ASPICE even better, or you're in the process of implementing ASPICE, or if you're trying to do internal assessments or even external assessments, this is a very useful tool. It's just a free, small book that you can carry around we are giving out free copies of this. You can just write to info@omnex.com and you can get a free copy of this book if you'd like to have it. Okay. So again, something that we very often use. I know Chad also has it with him all the time when he's traveling. So good.
Nikhil, I actually travel with this pocketbook, and I actually, for me, I take a hard copy, which is a lot of weight, of the blue gold book, because I feel I have to be ready at all times. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Now, the second segment, this is on training updates. So quite a lot has happened in Q3 actually Q4 of 2024 when it came to training updates. So we'll take a look at that. So the first and foremost thing is if you are, let's say, INTAX certified assessor, this can be provisional, competent, or principal, and then you were already into the version 3.1 and you're now trying to go to version 4.0. All you have to do is just take a 1-day upgrade training on PAM 4.0 and you can get upgraded to the latest version. Now, this training has been available, I think, some around Q2 of 2024. But now the other trainings, like for example, there are now new levels that have been introduced as of October 1st, 2024. So in the past, provisional assessor level was the first level that you had to get to if you were trying to become like an INTAX certified assessor. Now they have introduced a level called process expert, which is before the provisional assessor level. So technically you have to become a process expert first, pass the exam, and again, do the provisional assessor course, both of which are 4 days in duration, and then again have the exam. Now, that is the standard lane that you're seeing on the left-hand side. An alternate option is there's the combined lane where you can have both the process expert and the provisional assessor course both taken down together in a 7-day duration, and then you'll have an exam at the end. So one of the reasons why they introduced also the process expert level is it includes the guidelines document that I was talking to you about in just the previous slide that has now been included into this process expert training. Earlier, that used to be just a 1-day training that people had to take to understand the Automotive SPICE guidelines. Okay. So that is one key change. So you can see both of them highlighted in red. And then, of course, the rest of the track largely are saying you have the provisional, then you become the competent, and then the principal assessor thereafter. And then also you can see the model extensions right up in the center. So if you're already an assessor, let's say a provisional assessor on, the traditional ASPICE PAM 4.0, now you want to also gain competency into hardware SPICE. So you just have to take the 2-day hardware SPICE course. Or if you want to learn machine learning, then you can just take the 2-day machine learning course. So each of those are model extensions that you can do, and then you can also have exams. Now, INTAX is already planning also for the functional safety model extension, and they're having some work going around that. And I think there will be new extensions added on to this list in the coming year, or even maybe next year. So here's some summary. The process expert, the intent is to become an expert for Automotive SPICE PAM 4.2, including the VDA Guidelines 2.0 version. And then at the provisional assessor, that's the level that they're intending somebody to become like a co-assessor in, let's say, an official Automotive SPICE assessment. And then competent assessor is that training material was not there as of end of 2024. That is something that they have now introduced very recently. So you also have the competent assessor training material as well available for INTAX level. Now, not everybody might be interested in becoming an INTAX certified assessor, or if you're really thinking about implementing ASPICE in your organizations, you could also have, mainly you're looking for the knowledge in what these standards have and how to take that and apply into the projects and framework that you have in your organization. In that case, you could sort of follow this path all the way from the top, you have some of the trainings that we offer from Omnex. There's the overview training, such as the Automotive Spice Executive Overview. There's also a change of analysis, from PAM 3.1 to 4.0 analysis of change course that we have. There's also the overview of ASPICE functional safety and cybersecurity, which is a 2-day course that's sort of dipping your feet into the topic. And then if you want to become like functional safety or cybersecurity expert thereafter, you can take the more extensive 5-day course and all of that. And there's also, if you want to get into a little bit more of understanding ASPICE in depth and sort of how the standard integrates with functional safety and IATF, you have the 3-day course that's shown in green here. We also have quite a few domain-specific courses there. You have hardware spice, mechanical engineering, automotive spice for software development and testing, and also some courses that we've done based on demand from our customers is, how can I have effective requirements and test cases for ASPICE? How can I have, systems engineering and software development? Like, what are the best practices I should be following? So we've taken concepts from ASPICE and then enhanced it with industry knowledge to make those courses that you're seeing in the blue right-hand side there. And then also we have machine learning and agile spice as well. Lastly, within the list, if you're somebody who might not be interested in becoming an intact certified assessor, but you still may be expected to do internal process audits to assessment, projects that are taking place in your organization, you can take the internal QA practitioners of Automotive Spice. That's also a course that's a 3-day duration that we have.
Nikhil,
So
that course actually has an understanding portion, right? And
yeah,
I don't know if we're going to, we have a understanding ASPICE integrated with functional safety. I forget now the title of the course. I know you teach it quite a bit. And we're going to be morphing it, if we already haven't, to PAM 4.0.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the one in the green, the top in the second one. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you already have it. Okay, thanks.
So yes, so that's actually a very popular course, the one Chad. Actually, we just concluded it one yesterday. We had one going on. So if you're really interested in taking like a deeper dive into like understanding ASPICE, like Chad said, PAM 4.0, and how we would want to integrate it with functional safety and IATF and other management system framework, the course in green is something that would be really helpful.
And also, if it doesn't, a lot of the different courses are geared towards assessors, whereas, not that assessor couldn't take it to be, ahead of everyone else. But this is, a lot of people want to train the project team, so that's a course you can give. Go ahead, Nikhil.
So one of the things that we also did from our assessor team, like we, tried to get some data for you to also update you, like what has been the market adoption and what are the latest updates on that. So one of the key things that have really happened is the PAM 4.0 1-day upgrade training. That's been happening quite a bit. A lot of people have been now getting upgraded to the 4.0 version of the standard, and that has been, let's say, very frequently going on. And there are also the process expert and provisional assessor roles now, which have come into picture, right? So people are also been interested in getting trained to that process expert level, because new people who have not been, let's say, certified to intact assessor level in the past, they have to go through that process expert level first. So that's also been, something that's been happening quite a bit now. Then some PAM models such as cybersecurity, data management, agile, machine learning are also gaining interest. So that you can see among the many different PAM models that have been introduced, these are sort of like the few models that have been gaining a lot of attention compared to the other ones. And then also, when you think about this is the last fourth point, is a question we often get asked every time we are discussing implementing ASPICE with customers. So from now till about Q3 of 2025, the OEMs have sort of given the suppliers head start time. Go ahead and start transitioning to PAM 4.0 slowly. And then, because there is a highly likely chance that towards Q4 2025, it's sort of starting to get mandated. And thereafter, into 2026, definitely there's only going to be only PAM 4.0. So now, the earlier you start, the longer time, and you have to implement PAM 4.0, and you can get your processes stabilized by that time. So we really encourage all of you to already go in that path towards 4.0. So maybe if you haven't already done, a gap analysis can be done to help you understand the differences between your current system in 3.1 towards 4.0. Where do you need to make those improvements and all of that? All right, this is sort of towards the last segment of this, and now getting ready to transition to PAM 4.0. The first thing is attend the Intax upgrade training for PAM 4.0 if you haven't already done that. Then process implementations, if you are already underway, existing companies, you can do that discovery analysis we were talking about, and then identify areas for improvement. New companies, that I would recommend that you go directly to PAM 4.0 rather than now go to 3.1 and then try to upgrade again in the future to 4.0. That'll save a lot of effort. And of course, the third bullet point is something that at Omnex we very highly recommend is focus on integrated management systems implementations rather than have standalone systems. So if you already have functional safety or cybersecurity, SOTIF, etc., do not have standalone systems, integrate them. And then, of course, for programs that are going through nomination at this point of time, there's also a question we get asked quite a bit these days. Clarify with the customer on what version for ASPICE implementation. Usually new programs, they might ask for PAM 4.0, but still get that confirmed with your customer regardless. Okay. And then really quick, these are some, again, for the first bullet point, if you haven't already done that, these are some training events that we have coming up really quick that you can take advantage of. So we have the PAM 4.0 upgrade training coming up. We are almost running it every other month. So it's a one-day course. You can use that. There's also the Certified Process Expert led course, and also the Certified Provisional Assessor course that's coming up really quick. So you also can sign up to that. And there's also the combined lane process expert and provisional assessor course that we also have some signups for. So you can also quickly register for that course and take advantage of that as well. And also we have the competent assessor course at the end there. Of course, all of these classes, either online or if you want, we can also deliver it on site if you have enough people there. That is something we can schedule as well. And visit our training.omnex.com website for the latest courses. Now, as we said, there are also some non-Intax courses if you want to get to know ASPICE even better. So the Understanding Automotive SPICE with its integration with functional safety and IATF is also running the next time in March 10th. And then the overview of Automotive SPICE is also going to be running a few times. There may be additional dates that get added on our website. So always visit the website for the latest dates. Okay. And of course, we have a large catalog of trainings, more than 400 plus. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but that's offered in more than 16 plus languages across the globe. So please do sign up. You can go to our website to get more details on that. And I'll hold for any questions. Sorry, we went past the timeline.
Couple of questions, Nikhil.
Yeah.
And folks, I didn't see anybody post any question on the what will you guys be inside your company? Will you be going beyond the VDA scope? That's my question, really. So the question we have is actually on CQI 34. CQI 34. So the question is, has Intax somehow commented on the release of this brand new AIAG CQI 34 software assurance approval process manual? So shall I take this one, Nikhil?
Go ahead, Chad. Yes.
So here's my answer to that, is that there is actually what this is just, you can see it's like PPAP, right? So that's what it's intended to be. It's a approval process for software. So you go ahead and do the VDA scope or hardware or machine learning processes, make the product. And how do we know that the software is good? By this SW software AAP manual. All right. So in this similar fashion, VDA, actually for European suppliers, have already gotten a VDA. I forget, that's a course I know that we have done in Germany. Marty did that course for the VDA process like that. So it coexists with ASPICE. ASPICE is fine with this. It's not in their scope. Is there any relation or interaction between ASPICE and AIGCQI 34? Yes, in the sense that they looked at the work products of ASPICE, they looked at the work products of functional safety when they did this. In fact, we had Greg Alling, who was the team lead for this process. He delivered a talk, and you can come into the Omnex website and Google that, and it just, in fact, right in there, he does say that key themes. It's a guidance document. Number 2, it was based on ASPICE 26262, ISO 21434, and CSRs. Okay. And I won't go through the whole thing, but there are 15 process requirements and different submission levels. Okay. So that's the CQI 34. All right. So I hope I answered your question. We think it's going to come at the, it's supposed to have come out in January, but let's just say it's going to come out in the first quarter. Okay. So yeah, we had a question on what do I do to get trained? And you want to this is a good question for everyone without naming any names.
Right.
Quality manager who would like to, for automotive tier 1, want to get expertise in ASPICE. What do I do? So, Nikhil?
Right. The 2 best courses that you can pursue are either the Understanding Automotive Spice course, which is like the 3-day one that we were talking about. That is something that would be highly recommended. So this course that you have here, you can either sign up to any one of those. The alternate one is also you can do the Process Expert course, which is also coming up as well. So one of these 2 courses are I would say the first step into getting into ASPICE.
And if anybody who's listening wants to become an assessor, then I think there's 2 routes to go. You can if you want to become like a VDA person, you can help implement. For that, you don't need to take all the certification courses, or you can take the certification courses, fulfill the criteria, and also become accredited. You have to become either competent assessor or principal assessor. Even as a provisional assessor, we have need for it as part of our teams. Okay. So with that, maybe there's one more question here. Okay. With that, Nikhil, why don't we have gone over our time. We'll say thank you to everyone. Folks, thank you for joining this webinar. We'll be having other interesting topics. We're planning to do about a one a month. Is that right, Nikhil?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. On various different topics. Please do join us again. Join our training to get trained. Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Bye-bye.